And then I like to ask this other question because I watch other videos that you talk about money. So and money, I don't really talk about it on my channel, but I like to talk about money. So how much money can you make having A plus, network plus, security plus, roughly?
Disclaimer, it
Hmm.
depends. But
Hmm.
it's possible to definitely make six figures. But I would say, let's say if you just going, if you are transitioning, because a lot of my students are transitioners. I got a bunch of truck drivers, I got some nurses, even warehouse, whoever they come from, right? But I would say your first job, your first gig or whatever, anywhere from 60 to probably 75, right? And that's kind of on the lower end. But if you're only making 50, this is what I always tell my guys and my girls, if you're only making 50, right?
Hmm.
At least you have the possibility of making 100 grand in tech. If you're in a warehouse or if you're doing other stuff, you're probably at the ceiling. You know, in technology, there's so many different lanes, there's so many different avenues for revenue and for progression that you may have to take a step back. And that's what a lot of my guys and girls have to do. Because I don't know what it is about me in the program, but we have most of the people that go into the program already have careers, really good careers, maybe making 70, 80, even six figures, and they may have to take a step back to take 100 steps forward. That's another thing. If you're older, if you already have a career, whatever the hell you're doing, don't expect to be making the exact same thing in IT as soon as you start. I have some people that are like, yeah, I'm making 75,000. Like, okay, how long you been there? 10 years. Okay, what was you making when you started? 35. Okay, it took you 10 years to make 75,000. In tech, it may take you a year or just a year or two to get to that same spot. And you're actually having to learn and keep your skills sharp. That's another thing, Kev, that I tell people in IT. If you want to just learn something and just rock out with it forever doing the same thing, tech is not for you. You got to read articles, you got to watch YouTube channels like Kev's, you got to listen to podcasts, you got to buy courses, you got to do all this different stuff just to halfway stay in the game. So yeah, so that's my thoughts on that.
And then the other thing I always talk about too is that I have a lot of free resources, but sometimes you need to invest in yourself if you want to level yourself up. So I do have my own training platform, and you have your own training platform as well. So I guess besides that, I don't want to talk about that, but besides that, because
we can talk about it. We can talk about whatever you want. I'm not shy. We can talk about whatever you want.
Like, what do you say about that with students that say, I don't want to spend this money or that money because I don't want to pay that much. You guys charge too much, blah blah blah.
Totally understandable. Totally understandable. So, just in my opinion, just in my experience, right? I always ask this question. Oh man, you can get this for free on YouTube. Oh man, you can get this for free here. Oh man, you could do this. Oh man, you can do this for free. So why haven't you? Like, what are we talking about? If you can do that, go do it. What are we talking about? And then what I've noticed is that just for me, because my program is not free and it's not a couple $100, it may be even expensive in some people's eyes. I'm not sure. But a lot of times what people don't understand is that as far as me, you're not paying for just the program, you're paying for years of experience. You're paying for thousands of students that have been successful. You're paying for me having all the certifications that I teach. You're paying for me having a master's in this. You're paying for time. You understand? So you don't have to look around. You don't have to wonder, is this what I really need? I'm telling you, this is what you need because it's actually working. Because that's one thing. And another thing is, I never do something, I never tell my guys or my girls to do something I don't do. I pay thousands of dollars, thousands and thousands of dollars every year to educate myself with something I don't understand, if it's something I don't know. It's because I'm super critical on time. I don't have time to be scouring every damn video on YouTube. Is this guy right? Is this girl right? What should I do? Okay, this person knows what the hell they're talking about. This person has a program. This person has a course. This person has whatever. And can get me to the result I'm trying to get to. But I totally understand, people are in different phases, different stages of their life. If you want to rock out with the free stuff, great. If you want to go on Udemy and get some cheap stuff, great. If you want to go to college and spend a bunch of money, that's cool. If you want to go somewhere in the middle, it's totally up to you. But you need to be doing something. That's what I would say to that.
No, that makes sense. I agree with you. My next question for you, because I don't struggle with this, is I try to I do more of a, when it comes to teaching, I do more of the David Goggins kind of style of teaching. But I want to know your opinion on this. I want to hear your thoughts on this. I guess, how do you motivate your students? Because sometimes you have
I
you have
don't.
students that don't want to learn. I'm just
I
asking.
don't. I don't. I don't. This whole thing, like I have some videos on the channel that may seem to be motivational, but to me, if your mortgage, if your bills, if your children, if your family, if your well-being isn't motivation enough, that's not what I'm here for. So, like I said, just the way that I talk, the way that I lead, the way that I do things is usually by example, right? I'm not telling you to do something that I didn't do. I'm not telling you to do something that I wouldn't do. Because like I said, even in the military, a lot of people only respect, what you do, not what you say. So like I said, I just lead by example. Now, if somebody need a pep talk or somebody needs some advice, of course, but if you literally come to me talking about, man, I'm not motivated, man, I don't like, it don't matter. You ain't got to be motivated. You got to be disciplined. That's what a lot of people don't understand. I'm not motivated, shit, 99% of the time, but I'm disciplined though, right? You got to do what you have to do. If you, like I said, if using that as an excuse, I'm tired, I'm old, or whatever. Yeah, I don't motivate my students. Discipline is always, at least in my life, has always been more effective than motivation.
Makes sense. And I was going to ask you, and I don't make excuses either about exercise. I love exercise and health. And there's a lot of people that don't talk about that actually. You need to do IT, but then you need to have the right balance, and you also need to take care of your health as well, because if you don't have health, you can't do anything in IT. Just doesn't work that way. But the thing I wanted to ask you for CompTIA A plus, like we already answered some of that question. So for A plus, like who do you recommend that for? Like who do you recommend A plus for someone in IT, I guess? Like what's your recommendation for that? I know we went over that, but just go a little bit more into that.
You may not like this answer, I don't know, but I recommend it for everybody, man, to be honest. And it's not because some people think just because they have the experience that A plus won't be beneficial for them, but I think it will be, because I think some people kind of oversimplify A plus. Oh, it's just hardware and software, when it's so much more than that, right? I mean, a lot of times, when I'm on coaching calls or when I'm talking to students, so on and so forth, I'll ask them some questions, right? Directly from some of the topics that are on A plus. Damn, I don't know what that is. Oh, I've never heard of that. Exactly. That's why you need to take A plus, because you got to understand it's a two-part exam, and there's literally hundreds of topics and hundreds of objectives. You got some code and stuff on there. You don't actually code, but they go over some coding concepts. You got cybersecurity stuff on there. You got networking. You got cloud computing. You got virtualization. You got a myriad of stuff. So since I hyper focus on the CompTIA stuff as of right now today, I just say that your A plus is like your high school diploma, right? So you get a little bit of everything. So not only do you get the skills and you learn your stuff, it also gives you some type of direction. Because going through A plus, you'll kind of notice like, okay, I kind of like this stuff, but I don't like this. You'll know if you want to go through networking, if you want to do cybersecurity, so on and so forth. So I would recommend it for everybody. Like I said, it's a low barrier to entry. If you want to go to a free study stuff, or you want to go to Udemy, you want to rock out with me, you want to rock out with Kid, wherever you want to go. And it'll kind of show you if you really want to be in IT or not. And another thing, if you take it and you fail, that does not mean IT is not for you. That does not mean that you're dumb. I failed A plus the first time I took it. This was many moons ago. I haven't failed it in quite some time, but just take it and just see how it goes, right? And then just go from there. But yeah, I would recommend it for anybody and everybody.
Yeah, I agree with you on that too. I failed the A plus and then I took it again and I passed it. So
Look,
and I knew nothing about IT. So
yep.
So what was
Hey,
the
let
other?
me just have a little caveat to that. Another thing is as far as education, as far as this certification journey goes, you're going to fail. It's a part of the process. And a lot of times, if you're not failing, it's probably because you're not trying. I fail all the time, not the exams, but just in life, when I try new stuff, when I try different stuff, I fail all the time. And a lot of my success comes from my failure. So I would tell you to try and fail more often, at least try new stuff more often. But my bad for cutting you off.
No, you're good. You're good. I agree with that too. I definitely agree with that. You gotta part of life is failing, and part of life is making mistakes and learning from it. So you
Right.
got to have that mindset of being willing to learn, but also picking yourself right back up and trying again, especially when you ride a bike, right? And you have a bike, you don't know how to ride a bike, you keep falling down, right? Get yourself, just keep going. So
Gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah, exactly. The question for me is, do you in part of your program as well, just wondering, is that, do you work on the resume part of it as well and LinkedIn as well, or?
I do not. And it kind of happens organically anyway, to be honest, because the type of people that are in the program kind of create like a community, like outside of me. And a lot of times they get jobs from each other, they get resume tips from each other. And then every week we do a live class, right? So I'll teach whatever I'm teaching, and then at the end I'll open it up for Q&A. And if they have questions about, hey, what should I do about this? What should I do about that? I'll do it in there. But I don't specifically do resume writing or resume updating. I don't know. Do you do that?
Yeah.
Well, they can come straight to you. Because I send them. Because I can start sending them to you. Because I know I send them to Henry. Henry from Textual Chatter.
Textual Chatter. Yes. Salute to him.
Yeah.
Okay. My question was also, because we actually, funny enough, we met on YouTube, but also met on LinkedIn. So how important is having a LinkedIn profile?
It's essential, man. It is essential. So if you're not on LinkedIn, LinkedIn is a way less sexy version, I guess, than Instagram and Facebook, but it's so much more effective. All the movers and shakers, all the people that you want to know, everybody that's doing exactly what you want to do is on YouTube. You want to be a YouTuber, there's YouTubers on there. You want to be in cybersecurity, it's cybersecurity people on there. You want to be a software developer, it's literally anybody you want to be tapped into, anybody you want to be plugged into is on LinkedIn. I would say that's an essential part of the job search, an essential part of branding yourself, just an essential part of just the process in general. And I think it'll make your job search and everything else a lot easier. Now, what I will say is you just got to make sure that your profile, you can look at, Kev's profile, you can get tips from him, so on and so forth, but just look at your profile and just make sure that it highlights your attributes, what you're good at, and it speaks to what you're actually doing, right? Not what you've done in the past, but whatever you're targeted, right? Whatever your organization is, whatever you're trying to go to, make sure that your LinkedIn profile kind of speaks to that. Pretty much should be, like your resume. This is what I did, and this is what I can do for a company, for a job.